So we have now the quadratic formula in standard form, and we've seen this before, but it looks like that, where we have ax squared plus bx plus c, and a, b, and c are just real numbers. And so this is the form for a quadratic equation, and it's set equal to 0. So somebody said at one point, I don't want to have to keep completing the square for every quadratic equation I'm trying to solve. So how about if I come up with a formula? And so I'm going to show you where that formula comes from. So if you remember completing the square, we had to have a leading coefficient of 1. So right away I'm going to divide everything by a, so that I'll have x squared plus b over a x plus c over a equals 0. Now I'm going to do completing the square. I'm going to move the c over a to the other side. X squared plus b over a x equals negative c over a. Now comes the part where I have to complete the square. So, I don't seem to have, there it is. I take half of b over a, and I have to square it. Now this is being multiplied there. So I have b over 2a, but I'm going to square that, and that's going to give me b squared over 4a squared, like that. That's what I'll add to both sides. So plus b squared over 4a squared plus b squared over 4a squared. We don't know what a, b, and c are in this problem. They would be real numbers. We've done problems like that before. In fact, we've done problems just like this with numbers instead of the letters. But now we're trying to develop a formula that we can use for any quadratic equation. Okay, so now we have on the left a perfect trinomial square. So x plus, let's see, b over 2a squared equals, and now I'll have to get common denominators. And so I have to multiply on the right-hand side. I'll need a 4a, both in the numerator and in the denominator. Now that's going to give me then a negative 4ac over 4a squared plus the b squared over 4a squared. Okay, so we're getting there. Now I'm going to rewrite that just a little bit. X plus b over 2a squared equals, I'm going to write negative 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. Now I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So square root of this side, square root of this side, with a plus or minus n. And then on the left, I'm going to get x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus the square root of negative 4ac plus b squared over, and then I'm going to take the square root of the denominator, which is 2a. So now all I have to do is bring this over to the other side. So it's going to give me x equals negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of, I'm going to go ahead and switch these terms now. B squared minus 4ac, that's the same thing. So it's a subtraction thing. And then finally I get this. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that is what we call the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula comes from completing the square. But because we have the formula, then we can use that, as long as we know what a, b, and c are, we can use the formula and we don't have to go through the process of completing the square every time. So we're going to show you in the next videos for this section how to use the quadratic formula. I just want to say though that completing the square is still sometimes the easiest method to use. Okay.